I'm not as down on all of Trump's policies as people are. There are some good things he's done. I'm from an HBCU. I know that he did things for HBCUs. I think that he's so divisive that he could potentially cause civil war in this country.
Diversify your savings with physical precious metals while stockpiling silver in your home safe. It's Birch Gold Group's most popular special of the year, now through December the 22nd. For every $5,000 that you spend with Birch Gold, they'll send you a 1-ounce silver eagle coin for free. Text Brandon to 989898 to claim your eligibility now. You can purchase gold and silver and have it shipped directly to your home, or have Birch Gold's precious metals specialist help you convert any existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in gold for no money out of pocket. And they'll send you free silver for every $5,000 you purchase. Keep it for yourself or give something with real value as a stocking stuffer this year. Just text the keyword Brandon to 989898 to claim your eligibility. With a A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of happy customers, now is the best time to buy gold from Birch Gold. Text Brandon to 989898 and claim your eligibility for free silver on qualifying purchases before December the 22nd. Stephen A. Smith is like a broken clock. He's right twice a day, but he's still broken. And the things that he said about Donald Trump, I think that I get his sentiment, but I think it's over-exaggerated. Donald Trump is going to cause civil war. Like, come on, he was the president already. He didn't cause civil war then. He's going to somehow cause civil war now. I think, and you got to think a lot more people support him this time around than they did last time. So it's kind of almost like he's the sedative or the alcohol on the wound don't burn as much when you do it the second time. And so everybody was super shocked at Trump the first time, but the second time people are used to what he say and his tweets and everything else. So I disagree with Stephen A. Smith on that point, but also I'd say his point is exaggerated. But I don't think that that's not a knock on Trump, right? I do think that the things he say is ridiculous sometimes, and it can be totally avoided. But to make that a prerequisite for voting for Trump, I don't really know if that's really a good comparison.
Trump and Biden look like they're going to be the Democrat and Republican nominees in 2024. Yep. I know there'll be third parties. Would you vote Biden? Would you vote Trump? Would you vote third party? Or are you so frustrated you just throw up your hands, which unfortunately I think a lot of people are going to be, and just wouldn't even bother to show up because you don't think it's going to matter?
I would tell you that I would vote third party in a heartbeat if I thought it could win an election. I don't want to throw away my vote, okay? But I will tell you, I'm not enamored with either candidate. I'm not as down on all of Trump's policies as people are. There are some good things he's done. I'm from an HBCU. I know that he did things for HBCUs. I think that he's so divisive that he could potentially cause civil war in this country. That's my concern about him. What I would ask the Republicans is this. Somebody like DeSantis would vote right along how he'd vote. They try to implement policies just like he's implementing it. Nikki Haley as well. I mean, what are you talking about? They would do the things that Trump does. They would just do it with considerably more decorum and, dare I say, decency, as opposed to being so divisive where you ultimately cause civil war in this country. On the other hand, there's Biden. And there are a lot of people with the Democratic Party that I won't give their names, but they've made sure to contact me because they didn't like the fact that I said this, Clay. We need a new president. The man is going to be 82 years of age in the year 2024. There's no way around it. We need to stop.
I do like the fact that he says that we need another president when talking about Joe Biden. What does that say to me and you, ladies and gentlemen? Joe Biden is that bad that even black folks that hated Trump is now cozying up to Trump, flirting with the idea of Trump, and completely admitting that Biden sucks. Not one person that voted for Joe Biden is enthusiastic about voting for him twice. Not zero people. And in Donald Trump's case, I think more people wanted to vote for him the second time than the first time. And then, of course, more people hated him than they did the first time. So that kind of had a slightly of a balancing act. But the vote in 2024 is not going to be for Biden. It's going to be for Trump or against Trump. Nobody's voting for Joe Biden. That dude is a dead. Listen, I talk trash about him all day on the radio. Democrats know I ain't lying. A professor tried to confront me at an event, and I hate that we didn't get it on tape because I blasted her. She should be ashamed of herself. But I didn't want to do her as bad as I didn't do her as bad as I wanted to do her, because I wanted to embarrass her so much to make her cry and run out of the room, but I didn't want to get banned from the university. So I said, let me just hit her over the head a couple times with some facts and make her look stupid in front of everybody and then move on. But she tried to come at me about the cognitive decline of Joe Biden. And I said, look, let's keep it 100. You know you see what I see, but you won't say nothing about it. All I'm doing is keeping it real. What you have an opinion about Joe Biden's cognitive decline, his cognition. You have an opinion about it, don't you? And she looked like she had an egg on her face. I'm like, but you won't say nothing. You know he's declining. She said, what makes you a medical professional? It's like, lady, I don't have to go. Listen, I don't have to be a poopologist to walk down the street and see a dog poo on the side of the road and know it's poo. I don't need to be a scientist to figure that out. It's poo. I can smell it. I see it. I've seen dog poop before. Lady, I don't have to get down there and draw a sample and take it to the lab to tell you that it's dog poo. And I see it right in the pathway where people walk their dogs at. And I had a dog before. Little dog had big dog, and the poo looked just like that. I know what I see. And I had family members who died after getting Alzheimer's. I knew what my big mama looked like. I knew how she began to decline. And I seen her at the very end of her life. And I'm telling you, Joe Biden you're looking at him. He looks frail. His cognition is not as sharp as it used to be. You can't tell me something ain't going on with this man. He's falling, and then he at the war ceremony just walked out in the middle of the ceremony. Nobody know where he went. He just walked out. He didn't say nothing. He didn't address the crowd. He just walked out. And the professor know that he messed up, but she don't want to say nothing because she want to be politically correct. But she'll bash Trump. I should have called her out on that when I was there. I should have said, what you think about people talking about Trump? You think that's a bad thing? I could have ringed her in, because I could have said, because she said she was a Christian, which I know she wasn't a Christian. She'd just be talking, because ain't no way in the world you're a Christian and you're a Democrat in good faith. No way. It's not happening. I was a Christian and a Democrat, didn't realize I wasn't being a Christian by being a Democrat. What do you mean by that, Brandon Tatum? How you vote for gay marriage and you're a Christian? You ain't say nobody said you got to be mean to people, but how you going to support that and you're a Christian? How you supporting this transgenderism stuff and you're a Christian? How you supporting abortion when you're a Christian? There's no human being on planet Earth can convince me that God is okay with you murdering a kid because you can't keep your legs closed. Ooh, I'm getting spicy. Some of y'all need to drink some water because it's spicy. And I'm not saying every person does that, but most are. Most women that have abortions are because they want to play around and didn't want to deal with the consequences. Like I heard a person say, they wanted orgasm with no responsibility. That's what most of them do. It's called elected abortions. How are you a Christian and you think that make any sense? You can't be. You're a Christian in name only. You ain't read nothing in the Bible. It's clear that that's murder. What like come on, let's keep it real. At what point is that not murder? You just not performing it. You letting somebody else perform the murder. You gave them consent, they performed the murder. Because in our society, hey, sweetheart, on the way to the abortion clinic, a drunk driver run a red light, hit you, kill your baby, you live, he goes to prison. You lived. Why he going to prison? He's going to prison because he killed the baby that's in you. Because it's a human being, separate from your body. And they going to jail. over murder. Baby daddy get mad at you. He get drunk one night, punch you in the stomach. Boom. You lose your baby. Miscarriage. Is he going to jail or not? Yeah, he going to jail. What is he going to jail for? Assault? No, he's going to jail for murder because he murdered the baby that's in you. But somehow you can just go through that red light, or you can do the kung fu move and slap baby daddy hand out the way, go to the abortion clinic, kill your own baby, and somehow you celebrate it. It's my body, my choice. That's crazy. That's crazy as eight left shoes on a 10-legged man. But as a society, we think it's fine. I'm not here to bash people that had abortion. I know people go through stuff. Look, we humans. People make mistakes. People do things out of desperation and ignorance. It's fine. God will forgive you. But for you to justify it after having the knowledge of it, you to say that it's fine, and I'm a Christian and I support women's choice, come on, man. Come on. If a woman can say my body, my choice, a man should be able to say the same thing. Hold the phone. I'll be back at the break.